Hey folks, welcome back. Look at this crap. Lazy employees sleeping on the job. Okay, so we got this 2002 7.3 Powerstroke. This is the one I made a video a week or so ago. And we made a boost leak tester, and we tested right in here. Check that video out for how to check, and we found quite a few boost leaks. You can see this is some of the stuff I temporarily sealed up to fix some of it. The main leaks are down in the intake, especially on this side, the intake plenum. This side we were able to seal up pretty good. This side, for the most part, we were able to tighten the hose clamp. Keep having to tighten the hose clamps up on this pickup quite often. This is actually my pickup, so I see it quite often. But anyways, those intake plenums, the round deal that the boot slips over the top of, they're pretty thin, so they get kind of crushed and stuff. There's only so much you can do is tightening the hose clamps, and you're not going to get much out of it. So anything more, basically, so we have to fix all of that. So we're just going to go ahead and decide to go ahead and just change all of the intake plenums, and we're going to update them. I went ahead and ordered these from eBay. They were like $60-$70 or something like that. If you're gonna do something with like rebuilding an engine to do some more serious boost and power, you'd probably want to spend a lot more money on these. They've got ones that I think Riff Raff Diesel has some for sale that's got a really nice O-ring around here. Like, this is just gonna have to be siliconed in place, much kind of like the original anyways, but you can see that these are a lot thicker, and we'll see it later on when we get the intake Y pipe off of there. The other thing I decided I was going to go ahead and just give a shot and do with just getting a little bit more boost was this Wicked wheel got from Thoroughbred Diesel. I don't remember the cost on that, because aside from that, this thing is chipped. Okay, we got one of these doohickeys right here with the 6-stage deals. You get stock, you got your high idle. I run it on 50 quite a bit, maybe every once in a while on 70. I've never even tried these two. I don't even want to. That's just too much. You don't need any of that. All you're doing is blowing black smoke at this point, unless you update your injectors and redo your air intake and do all that kind of stuff. You don't need to be pushing any of this kind of power. Oh, what? You decided to get up and around and do something now? Huh. So anyways, we got this, and like I said, I run it on 50 a lot, and even then sometimes I'll trip the check engine light is for I'll have to look up the code that I possibly get, but it's like an overboost code. It's part of the map sensor, and which is the other thing why I got this kind of a boost fooler thing that's gonna hook in series with that map sensor and the ECM. And I'm not a huge fan of this kind of stuff, but I know this ATS Diesel Performance is a very reputable company. What are these? Oh, these are all the bolts that came with these guys. Okay, so yeah, I'm not a huge fan of these things, this type of stuff. I got another video on where there was something I had plugged in on a 7.3 that ran through the ICP sensor in a little box, that kind of burned me on stuff. You can check that video out if you care to. But basically all that's really going to do is just going to get plugged in here in series with this, and kind of just keep that check engine light, because when this thing overboosts itself even just a little bit, it starts defueling, really doesn't really run that good and all that stuff. So the other main thing we're also going to do is, while we're doing that Wicked wheel, is as of right now, everything runs with this pickup. If you don't get it to the point where it throws the code by the overboost or anything like that, keep your foot out of it or turn the chip off, whichever you want to do. Everything's fine, but I do hear a hissing noise at light throttle below 2,000 RPM from 15 to 2000, somewhere around 1800 RPM. I kind of hear this hissing sound, and it does remind me of like when these things are cold and you're cruising through town at like 25-30 miles an hour or so, give or take, and you'll hear a hissing sound when it's really cold outside because the wastegate is open and it's just protecting the engine, because everything is just, you know, your engine's not fully warmed up, it's just super cold outside. I've noticed it more or less when you're less than 20 degrees, you can hear that. And so I'm thinking we might have a wastegate that's not closing completely. This thing seems like it builds up plenty of boost. We have redid all of the from the manifold, you know, resealed the manifold, new gaskets all the way to the up pipe up to the turbo on this. I have another video on what parts I used on that, and because we had a lot of exhaust leaks and all that kind of stuff back then. This pickup's got probably about 220,000 miles on it, so a lot of this stuff just has never been done to it. And so when I hear that boost leak, it seems like it produces pretty good boost up above 2000 RPM. I could be losing some of it, but it could be, you know, and I've disabled the wastegate connector, and it seems like it actually produces more boost. By right now I've actually just got this thing capped off. You can see I just got a vacuum line with a screw stuck in it. That's not exactly how I'm going to leave it. I want the wastegate, you know, to do what it's supposed to do, but I want it to operate all, you know. So one thing you can do, and I've already done, is pop that connector off there. I put a little bit of air pressure in there, and we watch that shaft, which you can't really see right now. There's your shaft right there, you know, because there's the actuator right there. And it works off of your boost pressure in conjunction with your wastegate control deal module right here, or sensor, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And so that does move back and forth, so we don't have an issue with that. It just may be with our exhaust leaks that we had in the past and the overfueling and getting a lot of black smoke and stuff like that. There's probably just a lot of carbon. Hopefully that's what I'm going to find, is a lot of carbon built up, and maybe that, or maybe just the linkage itself, or something's wrong with that wastegate deal. Because what we're going to do is pull this turbo apart. We're going to take it apart with from these bolts right back in here, and take that back piece off of there and find out what's going on with that, because I think that's where that hissing sound's coming from. You only really notice it when you've got some kind of a load on, like, you know, some kind of a trailer. It doesn't even have to be really loaded. I just had a stock trailer on this thing the other day, and I could hear it even before I loaded the cows and stuff in it. But so yeah, we're gonna take all this stuff off of here. You know, and I've got this new boot right here. I'm kind of debating on whether or not I'm gonna go ahead and just spring for the whole cold air intake type of deal. Probably going to, but just don't know yet. But there's other videos on how to install those type of things. I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not, but yeah, so that's what we got going on with this thing right now. So we're going to get all of this off here, including the turbo, so we can get out and work on it, install the wicked wheel. There is a pretty good video from Thoroughbred Diesel as to how to install that wicked wheel, but I might just do a little bit of overview on it or something like that, just because, if you're curious on it. So anyways, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So yeah, we'll keep on going. Okay, first thing we're going to do is get all the air intake and get this Y pipe out of here, because the first thing I'm after is getting this turbo pulled out there, because I really want to know about that wastegate deal, if that's going to be an issue that we can fix, or trying to figure out just, you know, what's going on. So anyways, yeah, we're going to get all this taken apart, and we'll keep on going. All right, one of the reasons I'm changing out these intake plenums is see how thin this metal is over time, you know, see how they can get dented and out around. This is probably, most likely, why this side had a leak that just really couldn't get sealed up no matter how tight you put the hose clamp. Just another tip when taking this Y pipe off of here, do one clamp on the bottom and one clamp on the top. You know, we're going to be replacing these boots, but when we go to put the new one on, we will put one like this and put the other one on the Y pipe. Makes it a lot easier getting this in there, a lot easier. So anyways, we'll keep on going. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get this turbo out of here. One thing I can say this turbo's missing is the exhaust back pressure rod and everything like that's all missing, and I can even show you that on the pedestal and all that stuff, because this has been done not too long ago. This is something I should have noticed, didn't last time I had this apart. But anyways, yeah, we'll keep on going. Okay, we got the turbo off of here. This is your Wastegate actuator we showed earlier. Right inside of here, it's going to be really hard to film. Let me see if I can get a light. Right up in there is where the inlet is, where it's going to let some of the boost back out when this deal opens, when this actuator, you know, pushes on this lever right here. So we need to I'm going to get this top cover off here, which is also going to aid in getting the new wheel put on, not on this side, the other side. This is the exhaust port here. The wicked wheel goes on the intake here. Some of the things you're going to notice differently is I've deleted out the exhaust back pressure little butterfly valve here. You know, just put a 3/4 inch freeze plug there. I've done that. I've got another video where we did that. It doesn't really add as far as any more power. It just, there's a actuator on your old turbo pedestal that can be prone to leaking oil, and I just wanted to eliminate it. This pedestal here is even a lot cheaper. I got it from Riff Raff Diesel or something like that. Done that on quite a few of these, so it seems to work pretty good. It's just putting less, so just less components that you don't need, less chance of oil leaks and other types of failures. Okay, now you can see, you know, we got a little bit better access of our intake plenum. You know, this side right here is going to be the easiest. This side here has got a few more things, such as the solenoids on here to you know, move out of the way, but you know, we're going to get them off of there. You can do these with the turbo still on. It is just really hard to get to those, pretty much those two bolts right there, but it can be done. Okay, got some penetrating oil on all these. I don't know how hard it is going to be to get these out, but we're going to get a really nice, good 12-point socket. I would expect 5/16. Could be an 8mm, but they're pretty much about the same exactly. But we'll see which one fits better, but depending on what sockets I'm going to have. We don't want to round these off, so and we're going to get this cover off here and have a look-see at that wastegate valve and see what we see. Okay, so we got all these bolts off of here, which allows this to just come off of there, and there is the wastegate valve right there. It does look to be shut for the most part, but if you really look, it does kind of have some gaps in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this little C-clip off of here, and we can run this thing without any resistance from the actuator. Yeah, you can definitely see the fact that, you know, like it's really only kind of shiny right there. Like it's really only just touching and sealing on that point right here, because all the rest of this right here is just not. I was actually happy to see this a little bit, so, you know, just for the fact that it is looking like it's leaking. And you know, it's like I said, it's only shiny like right here, So it's really only touching and sealing right there. Well, that's a nice smooth part right here, but back here it's not. So what we're gonna do is just get an abrasive wheel. I'll show it to you in a little bit. Get that all kind of cleaned up a little bit, and I bet you that's gonna probably fix our leakage issue. I just took one of these bad boys here. You'll find out at the end of the video whether this worked or not. Yeah, we got this all cleaned up nice and shiny on both sides here, so that can seal down pretty good. Since we did take some of the surface of the metal off of here and maybe probably some of here, we're also going to take this guy here and we're going to go about maybe a full turn or maybe a little bit more, just so we can get this steel to hold tighter. You know, just because we took some of the surface metal off of here, if this doesn't hold tight, it's not going to really seal that great. So anyways, that's what we're going to do there. We are going to leave this off of here because we're going to have to get this cover off of here. I'm not going to film any of that. Watch that video from Thoroughbred Diesel as far as how to replace the turbine wheel or whatever that we're going to be doing, the wicked wheel. And yeah, so anyways, yeah, I was glad to kind of see some of this type of stuff here. As far as, you know, this deal didn't look like it was sealing very good, but now it should. I might even clean this up just a smidge better than this, but don't know if this is exactly how you're supposed to do anything like this, but I mean, I don't see how it could go wrong. But anyways, yeah, I think the fact that, you know, we make this deal like do a full turn in or something like that. Also, by squeezing this, it's going to allow you to get a few more PSI before this would open up, because I think it's set at like 5 or something that this wastegate would kind of start opening up. Anyways, we'll just keep on going with that. Okay, so we got our turbo all put back together with the wicked wheel in here, and then we got our wastegate deal all cleaned up. We did make this turn about 2 turns in to get this, you know, to fit tighter and everything like that, and maybe even a few more PSI of boost when before it opens. Got this all cleaned up. Now let's have a talk about these intake plenums, because this is a lot different design than stock or even some of the other way more expensive ones, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Okay, you notice when you look at those other intake plenums that they are completely flat, and here you've got kind of a beveled edge here, you know, where the air can go down, go along here. Does that on both sides. The only advantage with these particular ones is how thick this is. Now, if you're, like I said, if you're wanting to build some more power, I would go with a lot more expensive ones from you know, that are built and designed. These will actually most likely just work just fine. Thoroughbred Diesel, very reputable company, does sell a set of these that are made from I think it's Irate Diesel Performance. They look exactly like these. They're just a lot more expensive. Now, they could be better built. They could. I don't know. You know, this is just basic aluminum with a deal welded on here. I mean, that's, yeah, there's not much more simplicity than this. Basically, all I'm really after with this pickup is I like to run the chip on the 50 most of the time, maybe even the 75 setting, and I just don't want any boost leaks, and I just want to be able to run it that way. But I want the wastegate all to work properly. I want all that kind of stuff to do what it's, you know, designed to do for the most part. When you're talking about the turbo, you know, you got this, like I said, this beveled area, kind of a directional flow with air and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's probably engineered that way partially for a reason, but I mean, we're talking about air pressure coming in from the turbo. So you really, I mean, are you losing anything? I don't know. Maybe we are, and we're not. If it wasn't for you know, thoroughbred selling those setup that look just like this, I probably wouldn't really go with these. I just wanted to go this route and see, you know, if the inexpensive way can get done what I need to get done. So yeah, that's the next step is, so basically what we got to do is we got to get a lot of this wiring harness and all that kind of stuff off of here and get these bolts loosened up and get these intake plenums off there. But before I do that, I'm going to stuff some rags down in here, and we're going to spray some cleaner on here, get this as cleaned up as best we can, blow it off with some air. See, we got a little bit of remnants of the past oil leak that I had that I did not get that cleaned out good enough. We'll do that, and I'll bring you along as we progress through this. Okay, so as these intake plenums are coming off, the hardest part is going to be when you get down in here and you're going to get to that bolt right there. That's the hardest one to get to. You're going to have to just go in with pretty much like an open end wrench, get it out. I was able to finger tight it, you know, but it is looks to me like it's slotted, so you shouldn't have to actually get it out. And then we'll get the rest of these bolts off of here. You know, as you can see, we had to get this up and out of the way. It's probably easier if you went ahead and pulled your wiring harness completely out of here. I'm just trying to see if I can get around it, because once I get these bolts out of here, I can kind of move this stuff around a little bit and get it out that way. So we'll keep on going. Okay, once you get all your bolts off, minus that one we couldn't get out, it's just loose, give it a good whack right here with a hammer. We'll break it loose. This thing will come right out. You see how that's slotted for that bolt. So okay, I'm going to get the old silicone and all that stuff cleaned off of there and get that new one installed. Okay, there's our new intake plenum there on the passenger side of the engine, which is indeed the hardest one to do. Now I know they sent new bolts with this deal, but you obviously need to use these ones here with the studs on them so that you can remount these electric solenoids here. But I just elected to just go ahead and just use all the original bolts. You know, same with that one. All we had to do is just loosen that one up till it couldn't go out any further with an open end wrench, and so the old plenum out, slide the new one in there. As far as these things actually working, that remains to be seen. We'll find out. So anyways, now we're going to get on this side. This side's going to be a lot easier because there's just more access to all the bolts, and there's just nothing in the way. So we'll keep right on and going. All right, there is the second one in. You know, and you can see we didn't overdo the silicone even on the inside. Nice perfect thin layer so that we don't get gobs and stuff like that just falling off in the intake. Of course, I think these engines would probably take that anyway, so it don't matter. But yeah, we worked all around this wiring harness. We didn't disconnect anything else other than what you know, we had to take the white pipe off. So get new O-rings, and we're gonna clean that up a little bit, get this cleaned up, and then get that cleaned up, and we'll get that turbo remounted and get all this put back together. And by that time, hopefully that silicone will set up enough we can give it a shot and see how things work. I got a little deal. That's why I elected to keep these studs. I gotta get another nut put on there. So yeah, anyways, moving right along. It's you know, whichever one you want to start with. I started with this side because I knew it was gonna be harder, and that's just the way I do stuff. So that one on, and everything looks like it's gonna work. So we'll keep on going. Well, folks, we got everything all put back together. In here, we got her with their new intake plenums. Got everything sealed up tight. Only thing we haven't changed is I didn't get these lines. I didn't get new ones yet, but I did replace this boot here. Got everything all hooked up. We got our boost fooler thing here. Again, I'm not a huge fan of these type of things in the past, but we're gonna give this a try. Make sure don't get that particular fault coming up there, as far as, you know, when this thing would over boost itself because of the chip. So anyways, go hook a trailer onto this thing and give it a shot, and I'll report back. Well, that ought to be a pretty decent enough load. There's nothing in the trailer right now, but be able to test this. Power wise, no, I don't really notice anything, but what I do notice is that turbo. I get a little bit of faster spool up with the turbo. So yeah, that Wicked Wheel's definitely worth it in that, and a little bit lower RPM, about 1500 RPM. I can start feeling a little bit better boost, more so than I felt before. Don't hear that hissing sound anymore from that wastegate that we cleaned up. So, you know, other than that, I don't notice anything as far as the intake plenums making a funky noise, or, you know, I mean, it's a totally different design. The design doesn't look quite as good as others do, you know, as far as we talk about that beveled area. You know, these are just completely flat and the air goes in there, but, you know, other than that, it's, you know, pretty happy with it. And like I said, all I'm gonna do is, you know, right now I got this thing on my chip. I got it set on the 75 setting, and so that's pretty much where I usually run it. If I am gonna be towing something, normally I'll probably just have it, when I'm just driving the pickup, just have it on 50. So works just fine for me. And anyways, hopefully that some of that, you know, would help you out. You could, you know, like I said, you could do a lot of the stuff I just did kind of on a budget a little bit, as far as the intake plenums and all that kind of stuff. I do really like the fact that, you know, those things are a lot more solid, and I can you know, tighten the hose clamps. I mean, it's new rubbers and all that kind of stuff, so you don't need to tighten the crap out of them, but it's just all overall just a better seeming fit. So anyways, yeah, hopefully that helps you out with something. You know, the other thing that I'm noticing too is, you know, I'm able to drive this pickup with this trailer on here, and just normal driving, and I don't get any black smoke out of here. Now, if I really get on it, I get a little bit. That's exactly how I want it. I don't want the black smoke coming out. And so, you know, that seems to be doing pretty good. So anyways, thanks for watching.